soil and wealth for toil. Our home is girt by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty, rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains that let us sing, advance Australia fair.
Please be seated. Chancellor, graduates, guests and members of the university community, good afternoon and welcome. I'm Bill Patterson, University Secretary and Director of Governance. Graduations are one of the university's most important events, and we are delighted to be resuming ceremonies again in 2022. On occasion, the university seeks to honour individuals who've made extraordinary impacts upon society through the contributions they have made. Today, the university will bestow an honorary award upon one such individual. I would now like to introduce to you the official party who are here on stage. Seated at the centre of the stage is Ms. Catherine Livingstone AO, Chancellor of the University, who will preside over this ceremony. The Chancellor is joined today by Professor Andrew Parfitt, Vice Chancellor and President, Mr. Tony McAvoy SC, who will be awarded an Honorary Doctorate of Laws and also deliver the occasional address, Professor Anita Stumke, Dean of the Faculty of Law, who will be presenting graduates. The other people seated on stage are Mr. Glenn Babington, Chief Operating Officer and Vice President of the University, Professor Michael McDaniel AO, Pro-Vice Chancellor, Indigenous Leadership and Engagement, Ms. Diane Hill, a member of the University's Council, Associate Professor Lynn Sinclair, Deputy Chair of Academic Board, professors, academic and professional staff from faculties and institutes who've played such a large part in the success of today's graduates. It now gives me great pleasure to invite Ms. Catherine Livingstone AO, our Chancellor, to formally open proceedings.
In the name of the Council, I declare this congregation of the University of Technology Sydney duly assembled. On behalf of the University of Technology Sydney, and before we begin proceedings and on behalf of all those present, I would like to acknowledge and pay our respect to the traditional owners of the land on which we meet, the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation. It is upon their ancestral lands that UTS stands. I would also like to pay respect to the elders, both past and present, acknowledging them as the traditional custodians of knowledge for this place. In this graduation ceremony, we will celebrate the conferral of awards upon graduates from the Faculty of Law. Today's ceremony marks a great achievement for the graduates and recognises the support they have had from family and friends, many of whom are with us here today. So we warmly welcome you, and together we will celebrate the achievements of the graduates. But I now ask Professor Andrew Parfitt, Vice Chancellor and President, to present a candidate for the Doctor of Laws honoris causa.
Chancellor, the Council of the University has established the award of Doctor of Laws honoris causa to be made to persons who, in its opinion, have made an outstanding contribution to professional practice in a discipline of interest to the University. Chancellor, I present to you Mr. Anthony McAvoy, SC. Mr. Anthony McAvoy, SC, is a worthy man from the central Queensland area around Claremont. Mr. McAvoy is Australia's first Indigenous Senior Counsel, appointed in 2015. He commenced his legal practice in Queensland and now practices at the New South Wales Bar. He graduated from the Queensland Institute of Technology, now Queensland University of Technology, in 1988 with a Bachelor of Laws. Mr. McAvoy's practice has covered a number of fields focusing on criminal law, administrative law and environmental law. In recent years, he has developed a strong native title practice and has successfully represented the Githibal, Quandamooka, Kalkadoon, Pitapita, Kulli, Barnagaria and Gureng peoples in native title claims in the Federal Court. In 2016 and 2017, Mr McAvoy was co-senior counsel assisting the Royal Commission into the protection and detention of children in the Northern Territory. Mr McAvoy found university difficult as he felt isolated as an Aboriginal man. He was at risk of failing until he eventually found a support group outside the university. That experience led him to establish the National Indigenous Legal Conference, NILC, in 2006 with his colleague Chris Ronalds, SC. They wanted the conference to be a safe space for Indigenous students and others to come together and support one another. Having been established for over a decade, the highly regarded conference attracts more than 100 students, academics and activists each year, offering Indigenous perspectives, voices and leadership. Mr McAvoy's educational experience is one that resonates with UTS and affirms the university's commitment to Indigenous education and employment, and provides further impetus for projects such as the planned Indigenous Residential College. Mr McAvoy chairs the New South Wales Bar Association's First Nations Committee and is trustee of the Indigenous Barristers Trust, which provides support for Indigenous law students, graduates and barristers in financial hardship. The committee and the trust work to address the gap in Indigenous young people practising law, especially in New South Wales. He is also co-chair of the Law Council of Australia's Indigenous Legal Issues Committee, and as well as these roles, Mr McAvoy is a formal and informal mentor to many young Aboriginal law students and lawyers. His appointment as senior counsel, the highest level of professional recognition for barristers, reflects the contribution Mr McAvoy has made to the law and to the profession. In addition to this recognition, Mr McAvoy was awarded the inaugural National Indigenous Law Awards Legal Professional of the Year in 2010. In 2018, he was named QUT Alumnus of the Year. Chancellor, in recognition of his distinguished contribution, I ask you to admit Mr Anthony McAvoy SC to the degree of Doctor of Laws honoris causa.
So by the authority vested in me by the Council of the University of Technology, Sydney, I admit Mr Anthony McAvoy SC to the degree of Doctor of Laws honoris causa. Congratulations. I now invite Professor Anita Stumke, Dean of the Faculty of Law, to present graduates.
Chancellor, I invite graduates in the Faculty of Law to stand. Chancellor, the UTS Council has resolved that candidates recommended to it by the Faculty Board in Law as eligible for awards have completed all requirements of a course of study approved by the Board and has conferred these awards upon them. Chancellor, I now present those graduates from the Faculty of Law who are here before you to acknowledge the awards for which they have qualified.
So on behalf of the Council of the University of Technology, Sydney, I congratulate graduates on their achievements in obtaining the awards for which they have now qualified. Well done.
Graduates, please be seated. Chancellor, students undertaking higher degrees by research in law are highly valued in the faculty. The research strength of the faculty is reflected in and enhanced by our cohort of high-quality research students. Investing in research and early career researchers is an investment in the future of UTS and the nation. Chancellor, I present to you graduates receiving research degrees. The following students have graduated with the Doctor of Philosophy. Neva Danielle Collings, For his thesis, yes. For a thesis entitled Implementation of the Nagoya Protocol in Australia, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Peoples' Governance of Traditional Knowledge and the Roles and Functions of Incorporated Community Organisations. Supported by a supervisory panel that included Principal Supervisor Professor Natalie Stoyanov and Co-Supervisor Professor David Leary. Chancellor, I present to you Neva Danielle Collins. Peter Redan, for a thesis entitled Creating a More Perfect Slaveholders' Union, Slavery, the Constitution, and Secession in Antebellum America. Supported by a supervisory panel that included Principal Supervisor Professor Brian Apiskin and Co-Supervisor Distinguished Professor Catherine Biber. Chancellor, I present to you Dr. Peter Redan. Chancellor, we will now present to you our coursework graduates receiving awards today.
The following students have graduated with the Master of Intellectual Property: Tariq Jan Khan, Vicky Louise Locke, Master of Laws with Distinction Alex Goldberg, Master of Laws Elizabeth Margaret Hargreaves, Graduate Diploma in Intellectual Property, Douglas Au Jung. Graduate Diploma in Migration Law and Practice, Yazina Azimi. Carlos Andres Castro Munoz. Pierre-Axel Philippe François Ducot. Marguerite Anne Henneberry. Jing Wen Hu. Wen Qing Jing. Beruz Korsandi. Eugene Ko. Norleen Violata Manzano. Krushit Kashirambai Patil. Thakur Pokharel. Chandratara Ponugamati. Banmali Pradhan. Manisha Pradhan. Polida Sek. Swati Sharma. Deepinder Singh. Nicole Sliwa. Maria Corene Galicia Thompson. Samantha Tu Anchan. Ana Mercedes Uribe Robledo. Ankush Vanshist. Vatnak V. Joanna Wong. Umesha Wirazinghe. Sally Yatse Wong. Wei Wu. Yo Fang Yo. Bachelor of Communication, Journalism, Bachelor of Laws, Honours with First Class Honours, Anthony James Donahoe. Liam Frederick Fairgrieve. Georgios Reis Platias. Lily Grace Thompson. Bachelor of Communication, Social and Political Sciences, Bachelor of Laws, Honours with First Class Honours, Samantha Jane Lejeune. Cynthia Nguyen. Jordan George Roods. Grace Wade. Bachelor of Communication, Social and Political Sciences, Bachelor of Laws, Honours with Second Class Honours, Alice Watson. Bachelor of Laws, Honours with First Class Honours, Bachelor of Arts in International Studies, Milena Midget. Stella Xuan Shi. Bachelor of Laws, Honours with First Class Honours, Bachelor of Languages and Cultures, Aisling Hamilton. Alexander Maximilian Leo Smith. Bachelor of Laws, Honours with First Class Honours, Andrew Joseph Gerety. Campbell Georgia Flavin Rice. Meru Sharma. Alexander Jack Wright. Bachelor of Laws, Honours with Second Class Honours, Rachel Polt Kai. Bachelor of Laws, Bachelor of Arts in International Studies, Vamshika Bakshi. Catherine Amy McGee. Rachel Ann Satoreto. Bachelor of Business with Credit, Bachelor of Laws, Sasha Ognyanova. Bachelor of Business, Bachelor of Laws, Alana Marie Cassis. Bachelor of Communication, Creative Writing, Bachelor of Laws, Caitlin Bonnie Long. Bachelor of Communication, Digital and Social Media, Bachelor of Laws, Alexander Ohm. Bachelor of Communication, Journalism, Bachelor of Laws, Lachlan Deveridge. Lavinia Karam. Laura Mary Mazzatelli. Eleanor Michael. Sevin Pakbaz. Bachelor of Communication, Media Arts and Production, Bachelor of Laws, Georgia Pasialis. Bachelor of Communication, Public Communication, Bachelor of Laws, Jordan Ray Brown. Rebecca Wah Yin Chan. Tara Hartman. Mark Joseph Samuel. Bachelor of Communication, Social and Political Sciences, Bachelor of Laws, Zainab Ahmad. Kathleen Atchison. Sarah Marie Dunn. Ebony Timms Fogarty. James Chadwick Franklin. Renee Sophia Caloudis. Hai Fa Nguyen. Gerard Rajakarir. Annabelle Claire Allison Ramsey. Samantha Titmus. Patrick Young. Bachelor of Laws, Bachelor of Languages and Cultures, Sabrina Isharzen. Annalisa McCarthy. Bachelor of Medical Science, Bachelor of Laws, Aisha Atalai. Hill Lai Pham. Bachelor of Science in Environmental Biology, Bachelor of Laws, Monique Hitchens. Bachelor of Science in Information Technology, Bachelor of Laws, Christopher Cruz. Bachelor of Laws, Mark Michael Hayden.
Chancellor, this concludes the presentation of graduates from the Faculty of Law.
Well, on behalf of UTS, I'd like to say again a huge congratulations to our new graduates, and just as importantly, to your family and friends who have given their support, love, and no doubt a lot of understanding during your studies. Finishing a degree or diploma is a major milestone, and we don't underestimate the hard work and the sacrifices that you have made in reaching this goal. And you should be very proud of what you've achieved, because your university is certainly extremely proud of you. I think we'd all agree that your graduation is one of the most important moments in your life, and it brings with it opportunities and challenges. The opportunities to you have never been greater. UTS graduates are held in very high esteem, not just because of the quality of the education that you have received here, but because of its very practical nature, which is just increasingly important in the changing nature of work today. Conversely, the challenges have never been greater. Scrutiny and the expectations of society are already high and continue to grow. And I would urge you all to maintain the highest level of personal and professional integrity. Confront with courage the inevitable ethical dilemmas which will arise, and remember the caution that the behaviour you walk past is the behaviour you condone. Now, beyond the opportunities and the challenges, a graduation signals that you have gained new knowledge. Use it wisely and use it responsibly. Be seen to contribute and not to take. And I say this particularly because you're graduates of a university of technology. And as we know, technology can certainly be applied as a force for good, but be alert to unintended consequences. And actually, more importantly, to the applications of technology which are intentionally not benign. And unfortunately, I think we all know there are too many of those. There will be times, of course, when knowledge alone is not enough, and you will be required to make judgments where the answer is not clear. Now, judgment is informed by experience, and most particularly the experience of making mistakes. So I'd urge you not to be afraid of making mistakes. If you haven't made a mistake, it means you haven't tried hard enough. But the important point about making mistakes is that you learn from them. And the benefit is that that learning creates the reserves of judgment on which we can later draw. So my challenge to you all here today is to make sure that you make enough space and time to acquire and deepen your judgment skills. So you turn off the laptop, you turn off the iPhone, and you just think. Think about the questions you need to ask, think about the answers that you receive, and then think about the judgments you are being called upon to make. Because as future leaders, it's those future judgments that will determine our society, its well-being, and its economic prosperity. Now, of course, we hope that your relationship with UTS doesn't end here today. Your career will evolve in multiple dimensions, but the one thing we do know is that you will need to continue to learn. And at UTS, we're very focused on how we can support our alumni in your lifelong learning needs. And in this, I think we're all discovering together, but it's such a crucial part, and I think you probably hopefully you listened to the Treasurer's budget speech the other evening, and the recognition in that lifelong learning is a crucial part of skilling the nation. So we now welcome you into the global UTS alumni community. Stay involved and stay in touch, and remember that our alumni office is your lifelong connection to UTS. So may I congratulate you all again and wish you every success in applying the skills and knowledge that you've learned at our great institution. So well done again. It now gives me great pleasure to invite Mr. Tony McAvoy, SC, Honorary Doctor of Laws, to deliver this afternoon's occasional address. Thank you, Tony.
Chancellor, members of the official party, graduates, friends, colleagues, families, sisters, brothers, aunties and uncles. I acknowledge that we are here on the lands of the Gadigal people. I also acknowledge the Dharawal people, the Darug peoples. I acknowledge their ancestors and I acknowledge their spirits. Graduates, I congratulate you on having achieved this magnificent milestone in your lives. The completion of a degree or postgraduate programs in law or combined degrees is, as the Chancellor has said, no small feat. It requires dedication and concentrated effort over a long period of time. I also congratulate the parents and the families and the friends and partners who've persevered and supported and probably castigated you over the course of your study. However, in my experience, which I know is somewhat dated, completion of tertiary education in the School of Law does not require you to have an overwhelming passion for justice, nor a love of the law. Possession of those emotional attachments to your study may be a great help in maintaining your dedication, but I say this. It is just as valid to have completed your course of study on the basis that you wish to work in policy or some other field, or that you want a well-paying job. I know that when I was a student, I had no other desire but to complete the degree and become a competent solicitor. I had no belief that the possession of a law degree would allow me to contribute to any of the changes that I saw as necessary to the world we live in. What I wish to share with you today is a confirmation of the oft-heard saying, follow your passion. And a reminder that it is okay, and this is particularly for the new graduates, it is okay not to know where your passions and your career might intersect. When I finished my study in Brisbane, I continued to work in the firm where I'd completed my 5 years articles of clerkship. That was in 1988. I was working intermittently between the civil section of the firm in a general practice dealing with criminal law matters and also in a criminal practice dealing with the clients of the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Legal Service. In 1991, I left that firm and Australia and went travelling. By that stage, I had worked in the same firm for 9 years, having started almost immediately after leaving high school. I had appeared in or instructed in matters ranging from serious crime to coronial inquests and personal injury matters and other tortious claims, appearing for community organisations and giving advice about discrimination and defamation. It was very broad. But largely that firm acted for the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Island community in Brisbane, and I knew all of the families, and they all knew me. They knew my family. At the end of the period of 9 years, I didn't want to practice anymore. In hindsight, I can see that it simply took too much of a personal toll for me to be working so closely with my community on so many difficult matters. And at that age, I didn't have the skills that were necessary to deal with that burden. After travelling for a couple of years, I took a policy job at the Department of Aboriginal Affairs in Sydney. And there were some parts of that work that I really enjoyed, but I knew I was not cut out to be a career bureaucrat. So after 5 years in government, then at the age of 35, I was then, again, looking for something else to do. It was suggested to me that I might enjoy work as a barrister. I was hesitant, and I was not sure that I had the mix of skills that were necessary. However, I put those misgivings to one side and sat the New South Wales bar exam in 1999 and was admitted to the bar in New South Wales in 2000. To say that I was intimidated by the work and the skills of those around me, the other barristers, and the responsibilities that attached to the work that I was doing as a barrister is a gross understatement. I was terrified. But it was also thrilling. Much like the pleasure and pain of a roller coaster ride, I think. It was the terror of making mistakes and of destroying people's lives, of being found out as a fraud that caused me to work excessive hours in my first few years. But after a while, I found I was winning cases and getting return work, and that I could afford to pay our mortgage most of the time. And I think it was at that point that I realised I had found a home in the legal profession. I was about 40 years old by that stage. From that time forward, the years have flown. I have been very fortunate to have discovered that I have a particular aptitude and useful skill set for running native title claims. In the last 15 years, the cases I have worked on have almost all been very large, complex, and at the very least, socially important matters that deliver some form of land justice. And I'm not sure if all of you will be able to appreciate this observation at this stage of your working life, but to find, as I have, to find yourself engaged in very intellectually challenging work which is socially rewarding and in which you have a strong, deep personal interest that also pays well is about as much as any of us can dream for. It is the marriage of head and heart for which we all strive. Of course, that does not mean I'm at ease with the legal and justice systems in this country. I'm not. The higher I have risen, the more starkly apparent the inequities have become. I see far more clearly now not only the inequities that confront First Nations people, but also the ways in which they are maintained. Fortunately, I'm in a position now to call out those inequities, but the slow rate of change remains extremely frustrating. This is particularly so in the legal profession. I do not accept that we can say that we have a fully functional justice system when the outcomes remain so unjust for First Nations people. And I'm convinced that the legal and justice systems have so much more to do. The law degree I commenced in 1983 didn't turn into my dream vocation until about 2008. I'm not saying it should take that long for everybody. It took me that long. But the work I was doing in 2008, I could not have done 10 or even 5 years before that. The work I am doing now, I could not have done so well 5 years ago. The experience and the skill that is developed over many years of testing oneself and one's abilities is irreplaceable. I went to high school in a Brisbane suburb. I grew up in a Brisbane suburb called Inala, on the outer suburbs of Brisbane. My father grew up on the Cherbourg Aboriginal Reserve near Brisbane. He was only able to go to grade 4. That's all he was allowed to. My grandfather and my great-grandfather were taken from our territory in central Queensland about 105 years ago and not allowed to return, not allowed to speak our language, and not allowed to observe our religion or culture. The idea that I could go to university was something that was extremely new to my family. And the fact that I'm standing here today, giving this speech on your graduation day and on a day in which I've been honoured in this way, is something that really could not have been imagined when I commenced. But it is a testament to the notion that in Australia with determination and drive, anyone who can get themselves enrolled into a law degree can graduate and achieve success. And those that can find the area of law that engages their heart will not only have a successful career, but a rewarding life. Congratulations on having opened the door to the next stage of your lives. Travel well in your pursuit of a successful career, and be patient in the search for the pieces which together create a rich and fulfilling life. Thank you.
Graduations are indeed one of the most important occasions in the life of a university, and we're fortunate at UTS to have people of enormous influence on our communities speak to us. Mr. McAvoy, we've had the real privilege of hearing from a leader who's made such an impact on his field and on those communities, and is such a powerful advocate for change for First Nations peoples. We're grateful that he's spoken openly not only about the opportunities but the challenges we face as we walk through our careers and our lives, and the importance of being thoughtful about the burdens that we carry so that we can look and seek to find where we find the most satisfaction and have the most impact. He's spoken about acknowledging varied aspirations but also following our passions. And when we find what we do has the marriage between a head and a heart, there we can find both satisfaction and hopefully success in our careers and lives. And will you join me again in thanking Mr. Tony McAvoy for those important messages.
Chancellor, guests, graduates, that occasional address concludes the formal proceedings of this ceremony. The academic procession is about to leave the Great Hall. Would the congregation please rise for the academic procession?